Hi everyone, welcome back to Faith, Grief and Grace. This is your girl Sushi. Hey, I cannot stop saying thank you. Thank you guys for subscribing, for sharing, for commenting, for liking, for encouraging me. There are those of you who call me. Thank you. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. This is a podcast where we share about grief and the healing journey. It's really about healing from grief. And for those who are new here, who do not know my story, I lost my beloved son, Brainerd, my firstborn, last year, May of 2024, on the 23rd of May. And so, after going through that phase of darkness, I started this podcast, mainly just to heal with those of you out there who are going through pain. Anyway, for those of you who know me, you know me, I'm a noisemaker. I like to make noise. I am the party animal in a nice way. But I really am a very outgoing person. I love making new friends. I love meeting new people. I love making connections. And that's just me. When I lost my son, that disappeared. Especially after everyone had left and I was sitting alone in the house, not wanting to leave, not wanting to get out of my room, not wanting to do anything. I just felt like this is it. What more is there to live for? But then I had to keep reminding myself and jerk myself out of that hole. One of the things I talk about a lot. I had to jerk myself out of that hole and dig myself out and realize I have so much ahead of me that I need to live for. First, my faith in God, my salvation. God didn't put me here without a purpose. My children, I still have two other boys who really need their mommy, and I love them. Nigel and Jabari, they're just the best. But I felt like I'd lost my mojo. I'd lost my, that thing about me, the bubbly girl, the free spirit that I was. And funny enough, I met a lady through a friend at a wedding. This was the first wedding I was attending after grieving my son. Can you imagine the contrast? Grief, joy, and you have to dance to the isukuti because the isukuti was something else. Somehow I jiwachilia, but anyway. And later, as the evening was drawing, and we're just talking with this lady, and she was like, "Your dress looks amazing." And we started conversation. We men, we start with fashion, or how we are dressed, our makeup, our hair. And that's how it started. And she was even complimenting me my signature flowers, which is something that I really, really, really love. But as we shared, I told her a brief of my story. And she was like, "Oh my goodness, do you know, I'm also grieving my child." And I did not realize why I was drawn to you. But it's because of God that He directed me to you to speak to me. Because I've been stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to move from this death. And she had lost a daughter. The daughter was like, I think she said was 14. Was sick for a very short time. And before she knew it, the baby was gone. And so she was still in that place of deep pain. And she was like, "You have shared your story with so much zeal and speaking about God and just expressing yourself. And I'm looking at you and I'm like, I was sitting there admiring you. I didn't know that you're carrying all this pain." And in that moment, she said, "You don't know what you've done, but believe me, I'm going to live." Wow, that hit me. And it made me start looking at it from that angle of God, that no matter what you go through, you're still called. Your calling doesn't fade away because of the pain that you go through. Your voice is not shut off because of what you went through. There's a lot that God has in store for you. Where you are, at work, at home, in your business. What are you using your calling for? Because each and every one of us has a calling. Each and every one of us has a talent that God has given us. Even if you're going through, say, a divorce, a separation, grief, find that thing that God put in your heart and still use that pain or that situation to encourage somebody else. I didn't even know that time that this lady was going through what I was going through. Or she had been through that situation, and for her, she was still stuck. I hope one day she'll come on the show and share her story when she's ready. But that really made me think that indeed we have a calling. And even if you go through pain, you go through all the ups and downs in life, it doesn't mean that you shut down. It doesn't mean that it shuts your voice. You still need to speak. Speak that which God has placed in your heart. That talent which God has given you, use it. Don't be drawn to the negative side and start self-pity and say, why me? Yes, the questions will come. But quickly find yourself out of that hole. And as God speaks, sometimes He gives me verses randomly. So for today, it is Romans 11:29, and it says, "For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable." You have a calling, my sister, my brother. There's a purpose for that calling. It's not for you to sit with it. Even in your grief, find your calling in that grief. Use it for the glory and honor of God. We have limited time. You know, when I look at my son's story, he was young. He was just about to hit 30. I know of 3 other people, mothers, who've lost their sons just about the same age. And we ask ourselves, why? But their time was up. If their purpose in this world is done, if your purpose in this world is done, it's time to go. Please remember, use your calling in that space where you are. Influence somebody, encourage someone. You never know. It could be you serving a meal. You're encouraging someone. It could be you visiting someone in hospital, calling someone. I always say, pick up the phone. If you've not talked to someone for a minute, call them, encourage them, give them a word. It doesn't have to be even a word in the Bible, let's say, for example, that you have to call and give a verse. But it could be, God loves you. And that's all they probably needed to hear that day. So don't negate the fact that God has given you different talents, different gifts in your life. Your voice does not shut off because of the pain or because of the grief that you're going through. Remember, God loves you regardless. And He will use you in whatever situation. For what? For His glory. It's not about us. Someone once told me recently that even my son's passing, it was for God's glory. Hard as it is, but it's the truth too. And I pray that, you will not remain broken and think that God has forgotten about me and think that what's the point of speaking? Because I imagine in some instances, for example, men and women of God who go through grief, but they have to show up. Why? Because God has put that calling on them. A CEO who goes through grief, but has to show up because God has given them that calling. It's hard, but believe me, with God's grace, you can do it. Don't stay silent. Celebrate the wins, celebrate the departed, celebrate God's goodness in your life, because there's a lot to be grateful for. Each day I count my blessings. I look at my life. Just the other day, not so long ago, it was my mom's 42nd anniversary, death anniversary, 42 years. But see me, if not God, who? Why shouldn't I be grateful? I am grateful for every step. And I'm grateful that I can use my voice now to say, indeed, it has been God, nobody else but God. So may you use your voice, use your calling for the glory and honor of the Lord. And I pray that even as you walk through this journey, hold somebody else's hand. You never know what God is going to use, how He's going to do in your life, how He's going to use you in their lives, how God will use your children after what you do. That one act that you think maybe it's so insignificant, it's not. If you have something extra in your pantry, share. Maybe that's your calling, share. You know? Thank you so much for joining us today. I am so grateful that you are still here. Please continue to share, like, subscribe, because when you subscribe and when you share, more get to get this content and they are edified and they are encouraged. Remember, there is still purpose in your pain. Walk gently, carried by grace. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.